Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. This is Carlos, and I'm here with Manu.
Hello.
First of all, we hope you all are well, and also your families and colleagues are also in good health. As we know that these are challenging times for all, and this COVID-19 crisis has forced many of us to work from home. The main goal of this meeting is explaining you the actions we are following to help you to adapt your workflow in this new scenario. Okay, we guess that most of your team members are already working from home or probably are starting to move to work from home for this situation, and sometimes it can be a challenge, especially if you don't normally do it. Okay. So, well, I think we can take a look into the agenda for today. Yeah, first of all, we will make a small introduction explaining you the campaign and the different steps we are following to try to help you during this situation, okay? And then after this introduction, we will start with the demonstration where we will showing you two options, okay? We will explain you how you can move your on-premises repos to Plastic Cloud extension. And then a second option, we will explain you how you can move your local repos to an Amazon EC2 instance, okay? Then we will do a demonstration so you can review all the steps one by one. And finally, we will go through to your questions and every note or any missing thing that you may have after the webinar, okay? By the way, if you have any question during the webinar or something is not properly clear, you can just stop us and ask whatever you need, okay? Okay, well, the first thing we would like to offer you is the possibility to use Plastic Cloud extension to host your plastic repos in our cloud infrastructure, okay? It's important to know that it will be at no cost for 2 months, okay? Cloud extension is a Plastic SCM server service that allows you hosting your repositories on the cloud, okay? It's an excellent solution for distributed organizations to collaborate securely on their Plastic SCM repository, okay? It runs on Microsoft Azure, and of course, you can decide to encrypt your data when you are using this cloud infrastructure, okay? Then, if you want to continue working after this 60 days promotion period, plus the 1 month free trial, okay? So just to make it clear, in total, there will be 93 days, okay? The 2 months from this promotion, plus the 1 month free trial we always offer. After this period of time, the pricing is pay-as-you-go model, okay? You can review the pricing details in our webpage at plasticscm.com. And according to this promotion, the first invoice will be around the end of January, okay? So you will have around 3 months of free cloud offer, okay? Well, we hope you find this proposal attractive to your business during these months of uncertainty. And in order to get this offer, please just contact us by email before April 15. You can just send an email regarding your company details, and we will apply this offer for you, okay? If you consider to switch to cloud extension, it's also important to remember that there are some limitations compared with your on-premises server, okay? And I'm afraid there is no support for server-side triggers. There is no support for shelves, LDAP integration. It's important to remember that the authentication when you are using the cloud server will be the Plastic SCM users, okay, our own web users. And also it's important to comment that Git server and merge bot are not still supported in our cloud if you decide to go for the cloud extension, okay? We are working on close those gaps as soon as possible, but there is no support as of today, okay? These limitations refer to our cloud infrastructure, our cloud extension. But if you decide to go for the second option that we are just going to show you during this webinar, if you go for the Amazon machine and start installing there a server, those limitations will not be affecting you. Okay, this is only related to our cloud extension product. Okay, well, I think we can start with the demo time. As we commented, we will separate this demo time in two parts. During the first one, we will explain you how you can migrate your local repos from your on-premises server into our cloud infrastructure. Okay, I think Manu is going to show you this demonstration.
That's right. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Carlos. So as you said, we are going to start explaining how to migrate your local repositories, wherever they are, to the Plastic SCM Cloud server. It's fairly simple. The first way, you have multiple ways to do it. I'm going to explain a couple of them. The first one is using the sync view, the sync repositories view. If you go to the other actions inside the graphical user interface and you click in sync repositories, you will be able to set up some relationship between your local repositories and the Plastic SCM Cloud repositories. That's what I'm going to do now. First thing, let me open it. Well, you are able to see my branch explorer. It has a few chain set branches and so on. It has a few history in here, and I want it to be migrated there. So let's open the sync repositories view. The first thing is obviously creating a new sync view. Let me call it migrate data view. And I need to specify a source repository. The source repository, of course, is going to be the local repository I want to push, the local repository I want to migrate, to replicate. As you can see up here, I'm working with the commands repository. So that's the one I'm using for this demo. Let's add it. This is my local host machine. It might be your on-premise server inside your office. It might be a different server, okay? It's the same idea. You just need to type here the Plastic SCM server address, select the repository you want to migrate, and then as the destination repository, you need to specify the cloud repository. For me, my cloud organization is Catacroker Cloud, and I have a few repositories in here. For this case, I have a brand new repository. That is Commands Cloud. It's empty. Of course, you need an empty repository to push all your data there. It's the case for this one, and I'm going to use this as the destination repository. Perfect. So now the two of them are somehow connected, and as soon as I click in this button, you can see the Plastic SCM GUI allows me to, or shows me, all the missing branches that are not yet at the Plastic SCM Cloud. In this case, as you can imagine, it's everything. All the history of my repo is not yet there. So that's why it's proposing me all the branches. Okay, that's fine. You have here two options. The first one is, of course, pushing everything. Right-click and push all the changes. That's one option. But if your repository is big, that might take a while. If you are transferring gigs of data to the Plastic SCM Cloud, it might take a lot of time, okay, depending on your network connection. And as everybody's working from home, the networks right now are a little bit saturated. So if you want to save time, I recommend you, and Plastic allows you to do that, I recommend you to push only the branches you are interested in. So in this case, let's suppose that I only want to replicate the main branch and the 28th branch. So I can use the Control key to select and deselect, okay, branches to be pushed. Okay, so I have the two branches, the main branch and the task 28 selected. I just want them, only those, to be pushed to the cloud, and right-click them, push branch, and the summary is telling me that only those two are going to be replicated. Okay, let's start it. It's a small repository, so it shouldn't take long to push it to the Plastic SCM Cloud. Right now it's introducing the first branch. And now the second one. Okay, perfect. So it's there. Now my content is at the Plastic SCM cloud. So what's the next step? Okay, well, the next step is creating a new workspace. You can create a new one. You need to specify the cloud, search for the commands cloud repository. And now, if I take a look into the branch explorer of this new repository, you will see that I only have the main branch and the 28th branch, like that. Okay, perfect. So that's one way to do it. I'm going to share with you a different way to push the history of the repository, but in a very hacker way. This hacker way will allow you to push the latest snapshot of your repository to the Plastic SCM cloud. And just that, just a snapshot. It's going to be faster to push. It's going to be lighter. Okay. And it's a good way to push only the head of your repo and start working from that. To do that, it's really simple. All you need to do is to create a new branch from the latest change set, call it push to cloud, switch your workspace to the new branch. Okay, you will need to do a dummy change. It has to be a really small one. Okay, not really important, like adding a readme.txt file, because we need a new change set to be created to be able to push it. Okay, so now that we have a dummy change set and a dummy child branch, it's time to replicate this branch. Right click it, push pull, push this branch, and you have to specify the cloud and your repository, okay, where you want to push. It has to be also an empty repository. So this special way, this hacker way, in return, what it's going to give you is a new cloud repository with only this change set. And of course, this change set contains all the content of your project, but just like a snapshot, the latest files you have in the change set. So that's another way to do it. Okay. So if you are in a hurry to start working, this is your way. Okay, perfect. So that's basically how you can migrate your on-premise data to the Plastic SCM cloud. Next point in the agenda is explain you how to set up an Amazon machine. In this case, it will be an Amazon machine, but you can use Google Cloud or Azure or any hosting system you like. Okay, I'm going to explain you in Amazon because it's the most used one, and it's very interesting to learn how to do it. In this case, let me go out, let me log in, and I'm going to explain you how to create a very small Linux box to host the Plastic SCM server and how to push your data to that new server. Okay, so the first thing is creating an Amazon account, of course. This EC2 portal allows you to create machines. Click this Launch Instance button to select the type of machine you want to create. I recommend you to use Ubuntu or any other Linux boxes because they are cheaper and basically also easier to use or to set up. Okay, next window allows you to select the type of machine or the size of the machine you want to use. As you can see, you can use a very basic one, which is, as if you see this green panel, it means that it might be free for you to use, okay, at least for the first month. And the rest of them are a little bit expensive. If you scroll down, the machine is more powerful. We are going to go with this T2 Micro because it's enough for a very small team. If you need a bigger machine, be more than free to choose a different one. Okay, let's click next. This summarizes the details of the machine, nothing to change here. And the next step is important because you can choose what type of storage you are going to use. By default, the root volume is 8 gigs and the type is GP2. Okay, this GP2 volume is okay for low I/O operations. If you need more powerful drive, a more powerful drive, you can go for this other type, IO1. The special type IO1 allows you to specify the IOPS you want to use. The IOPS basically define how powerful your hard drive is going to be. 400 is 4 times powerful as GP2. So if you want better performance, use this one. And I want you to know that with the Plastic SCM Jet backend, you can separate where to store the data and the metadata of the databases. That is great because you can store the metadata in the GP2 drive because we don't need that much space for metadata. And the data, you can store it in the IO1 volume because for data, we need to be able to read it as fast as possible. So I'm going to create the 2 of them, and later I'm going to explain how to use them inside the machine. Let's go to the next step. This is just if you want to add tags to recognize your machine more easily. Let me skip it. This is important as well. We need to specify which ports are going to be open to the internet. So let's go and create a new rule for the 8787. We are going to use this for TCP. Later, we will change it inside the Plastic SCM configuration. We need also another one, TCP, for the 8788. We are going to use this for the SSL communications, although we recommend you to do not use TCP, okay, and just use SSL if the machine is going to be on the internet. Let me explain both of them so you can have it completely clear. One is going to be TCP, the other one SSL, but we recommend to only create the SSL. And the last one is going to be for the web admin. The web admin is, as you may know, is the new way to configure the Plastic SCM server using a web browser. And we are going to use a different port as well. It's going to be 8789. Okay, perfect. So let's complete this. Okay, all the traffic will be accepted. And that's everything we need. Of course, we also need the 22 port for the SSH connection that I'm going to be using that in a moment. Let's review it. Okay, perfect. The T2 micro with the 2 volumes. Okay, it looks okay for me. Let's launch it. And this is very important. The first time you launch it, it will ask you to create a key pair. I already have one, this London key, and I have it in my computer, so I don't need to create a new one. If you don't have one, please create one here. Create a new key pair. Okay, let's go. So now we are launching the new machine. If you click the name of this machine, you will see the status. Right now, it's pending. In a moment, it will be green and ready to be used. As I said before, you can use any other system, but we use Amazon services a lot. And most of our customers, as far as I know, they also use Amazon machines to host their Plastic SCM servers. Not only in this crisis moment, but in the past, okay, we have customers using this kind of services. Okay, perfect. So the machine is running. So let's get connected. Let's right-click it, connect, and Amazon is really kind and gives you the command you need to execute. Okay, I have here my terminal. Just type this command. If you have access to the London key, you will be able to access the machine. And now I'm inside the machine, the Linux, the Ubuntu machine I have just created. Okay, so next step is installing the Plastic SCM server. I have the steps here. I'm going to go through them really simple. Just copy it to the terminal and execute them. Oops. Okay, sudo apt-get update. Perfect. The next one is installing this package. Okay, let's run it. Next step is adding our repository to the list of available repositories. Okay. Perfect. And now, almost ready, we need to get our key to make the apt install command able to install our package. Okay, let's see. Okay, that will be get command. Let's run it. Okay, perfect. And finally, a last sudo apt-get update to refresh all the information. Okay, perfect. So now we are ready to install Plastic. And what we are going to install? We don't need the Plastic SCM complete installation. We don't need the client here. We just need the Plastic SCM server. So what we are going to install is the new Plastic SCM server.net, the .NET Plastic SCM server. Let me type the command, apt-get install Plastic SCM. And if you use the tab key, you are able to see all the available packages. The one we need is the server net core. This new Plastic SCM server is much more faster, it's more reliable, and doesn't use mono, which is a great advance in our history. Okay, it's using the official Microsoft .NET framework. And well, now it's lighter, the installation is lighter and much faster to install. So we already have a Plastic SCM server here. Okay, now we need to, more or less, we are going to configure it to match what the ports we used before. So first thing, I'm going to, let me try to make this bigger so you can focus on my commands. I'm going to stop the Plastic SCM server. You can learn how to do it. Sudo systemctl stop Plastic SCM server service. Okay, stop. Now the service stopped. Okay, now let's go to the installation directory, opt Plastic SCM server, and sudo nano the network.conf file. Here's where we define the listening port. Okay, the listening port, remember that we use the 8787 for SSL. Later we will add, 8787 for the TCP. Later we will add a new port for SSL. Okay, and now we want to change also the web admin port. Sudo nano server.conf. Okay, if you scroll down, you have the web admin tool port. It's not 7178. I'm going to be using 8789. Okay, perfect. Yes. So if you remember, during the creation of the machine, I specified that I wanted 2 drives, one for data, one for metadata. I'm going to mount the second drive. So if I run the lsblk, I have a list of drives, and this one is not mounted yet. So let's mount it. So we need to run the sudo mkfs command with t, format is xfs, and which one? I'm going to create this one, the one that is not used yet. Okay, perfect. I'm not sure if okay. Give me 1 second because something is wrong here. Oh, sorry. I need to specify the full path. Sorry about that. It's dev xpdb. Perfect. So I have it ready. the next thing to do is create a new directory, sudo mkdir for mounted, of course, get data. Remember that here we are going to store the data, so we need to be fast enough. And now sudo change the owner, plastic SCM, get data, so the plastic SCM server can access this directory. Plastic SCM, plastic SCM. I don't have the. Oh, sorry. I'm using this change mode. Is change owner. I'm sorry about that. Is change owner. Okay, perfect. So now the plastic SCM server user is the owner of the directory, so we are able to use it. And finally, mount it. Sudo mount the def xvvv into get data. Okay, perfect. So now if we run the lsplk command, we have the drive mounted currently in this directory. So the plastic SCM server can use it. Perfect. So what we need to do, we need to configure the plastic SCM server to be able to be ready for production. So let's start it. I'm going to reuse the stop command and change this to start. Okay, as you can remember, we have the web admin. So if I go and I take the address of the new machine and I copy it, I can go to my browser and type this address 8789. And if everything is fine, I will be able to access the web admin for the very first time. Yeah, perfect. It's working fine. So the very first time you access, it will ask you to create a new admin password. Remember it? Okay, you can change it later, but well, it's better if you remember it. Let's finish the installation. And there's a few things that we need to change. As I told you before, we recommend you not to use the 8087 port, so you can delete it if you want. And we recommend you to use the SSL port. So as you remember, we used the 8788 in the configuration, so let's use that. And also, there's a few things we need to change, such as the repository storage. We are going to use the fast drive we have just mounted. As you can remember, it's in /get data. So let's change it to get data, supply it. Perfect. And now, finally, the authentication. We don't need the default one, local name. That is only good for testing. We need to change it to something else. You can use Active Directory or LDAP. Actually, LDAP. If you have an LDAP server with your users and groups. In this case, I'm going to use the embed system user and password mode in Plastic SCM. So let's apply it. Let's add a new user. In this case, it's going to be Manu, myself, and add it so I can access this Plastic SCM server. So if everything went fine, now the /get data content, well, let's restart it so we can make sure the configuration is in place. Let's stop and let's start. Maybe we have some troubles with permissions in the directory I have just created. So change owner of get sudo. Let me check. Here we have. Where is it? Get data. Okay. Okay, and now if we start it, No. Stop it and start it again. Okay, now it's working. I think I lost the first configuration I had. So now if we go to get data and we check the content, we have content here, okay? So this is now as a regular Plastic SCM server. If I take the name of this machine and I go to the Plastic SCM server GUI, I open the repositories, I can type here the address of this machine, 8787, as you can remember. Let's remove the HTTP of the beginning, okay? And I refresh this view. I have a default repository. So now this links to the first part of this demo. I can push the content from this machine from my local host using the sync view. It's exactly the same process. Instead of the cloud, I can delete this destination and I can add a new destination, which is going to be the new machine, 8787, and the default repository, for example. Okay, now if I refresh this, I can push the main branch, and I will have my content in the new Plastic SCM server, as easy as that. There's another way, okay, which is transferring the databases from the local machine to the new Plastic SCM server. That is also very, very easy. What you can do is you can go to the program files directory if you're using Windows, to the JetDBs directory. And if you're interested in all databases, well, you just need to copy all the repositories to the new machine. If you are just interested in one of them, just pick that one. If you don't know how to match this number to the repository name, you can use, let me open a new window, you can use the cm lrep command with this parameter, format equals to table. And this is going to give you the match between the number and the name. So the commands repository, that is the one I'm using, is the number 6. So if I want to get this to the new machine, I just need to copy this directory to the new machine, place it in the JetDBs directory, get data, and that's all. Okay. Finally, I think I already mentioned this, but it's possible to separate the blobs, the data, from the metadata. To do that, you have to manually go to the server machine, OPT Plastic SCM server, and edit the jet.conf file. Okay, the base path is used for the metadata. So this is for metadata. Okay, if you want to use that, and the blobs path is for the data. So it will be something like this. Okay, you can configure this before starting the Plastic SCM server to start using this mode. Okay, so if you are interested in doing this, well, this is how you can do it. Of course, if you have any questions about how to set up this, we will be more than happy from the Plastic SCM from the Plastic SCM support team to help you to create your own machine. And well, I think this is everything we wanted to show you. Carlos, are you missing something? Do you want to cover something else?
I think everything is covered. I can see there are 2 questions, so with nothing more pending to explain, we can go directly to the question.
Perfect. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let me check. Okay. Okay, Michael is asking, so with this promotion, there won't be extra cost to host our repos in your cloud for 3 months?
Yeah. Do you want to answer that?
No, continue, Mario, no problem.
Yeah, I was about to say exactly the same thing you said. Yes, for the first 3 months, it's for free, okay? Because we always have 1 month for free during the trial. So you have by default 1 month free, and then this special case, this special situation we are facing, we want to give you facilities to have 2 more months for free. So yes, in total it will be 3 months. So yes, if I'm correct, by June you will have the first invoice, right?
Yeah, by the end of June. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that's right.
Okay. There is another question. Luis is asking, is the same Plastic Cloud Edition versus Cloud Extension?
No, they are separate things. The Plastic Cloud Edition is a little bit more expensive than the Plastic Cloud Extension. The Plastic Extension, the Plastic SCM Cloud Extension, is available for team users, for the companies and customers that they are already using the team edition. Okay, so if you have a team edition, you can go and purchase the Plastic Cloud Extension. If you are a new client and you want to use just the cloud, then you need the Plastic Cloud Edition.
Okay. No more questions for now. I'm not sure if somebody still have some question or something to comment. Or anyway, you can, as we mentioned, you can reach us for all the technical stuff. You can reach us at support@codicessoftware.com, and for more regarding the promotion and this offer, you can reach sales@codicessoftware.com. Okay, so we'll be happy to comment any pending topic or any question you may have.
That's right. Okay, so thank you very much for attending. And as Carlos said, we will be more than happy to assist if you have any questions, both the sales and the support team.
Okay, stay safe, everybody. Thank you for attending.
Stay safe. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.